I started my YouTube video creation journey way back in 2018. At that time, I committed some mistakes which I could have avoided. I learned from those mistakes the hard way, and it took me more than 4 years to fully understand them, which means that I wasted 1400 plus days. Can I get those days back? Probably not, but you can save that time. So when I look back at my journey, I committed 3 broad mistakes. I'll talk about those mistakes in this video. On that note, let's get started. The first mistake is from a broader perspective of content. When I started my YouTube channel Melt Your Cheese, I just wanted to focus on running. I did not want to focus on cycling, food, weight loss, home workouts, but I did the exact opposite. I focused on all these topics, all these niches. So what was I lacking? I was lacking a solid content strategy. When I say I was lacking a clear content strategy, I mean number one, I was lacking a clear target audience focus. When you're starting your content creation journey, it is essential to focus on a specific niche. This will help you attract a specific audience and even deeply connect with that audience. When you're trying to create for everyone, you are essentially creating for no one and you're not attracting a specific audience. For the content to be effective, it needs to cater to specific needs of the audience, or it should solve a problem for the audience. Now, the audience should be able to see themselves in that content. When I started out, I lacked that niche and audience focus. Secondly, I did not analyze the competition that was existing for my particular type of content. A lot of creators were creating similar content, and my content was just getting lost in the crowd. Thirdly, there were no content buckets or categories of content to focus on. So just to give an example, since I was creating content on running, I could have divided the main topic of running into 3 broad buckets. First could have been for absolute beginners who want to cover 1 kilometer from 0 to 1. The second bucket could have focused on runners who want to cover 3 to 5 kilometers. They have been running previously, they are into exercising, and now they want to cover 3 to 5 kilometers. And the third bucket could have been for people who want to cover more than 5 kilometers. And fourthly, there was no content planning at all. I did not know what topics to cover and how many videos to create in the month. I essentially depended a lot on my gut feel in that particular moment, and this led to inconsistency and poor content coming out. Now coming to the aspect of content writing or scripting. Now when I wrote my content, when I wrote my script for the videos, there was a lack of a research perspective. I wrote scripts, I wrote content based on my own experience of running, and because of that, people were not able to build that trust in me because people believe in credentials. Which means either you have achieved something which you can showcase in numbers, awards or certifications, or you quote some research to prove the point you are essentially talking about. My content, my scripting lacked that research depth, and that is the reason why it took me a lot of time to build trust in people. In short, no content strategy and planning combined with no focus on credentials or research for scripting was mistake number 1 from a content perspective. The second mistake is from a broader perspective of discipline. Now, when I was talking about the first mistake on content, I pointed to the fact that I did not have a content plan. Now, why is a content plan essential? A content plan is essential because it gives you a direction to move in for a particular period of time. You know how many content pieces you need to create in a particular period of time, how many content pieces you need to release, and how much planning you need to do for the future as well. In my case, I did not have that content plan, which meant that I was not disciplined with my video creation. Instead of creating 1 video per week, I created 1 video every 2 weeks or sometimes 1 video in a month. Essentially, I just created videos only when I felt like. On most days, I was simply lazy or I did not have any idea about the content that should be created next. Also, from an algorithm perspective, YouTube or any other content platform loves regular uploads, loves consistency. So when you regularly upload the videos, they get automatically pushed to your audience. That is the harsh reality of algorithms in the world today. And from an audience perspective as well, when you are inconsistent, you are also unpredictable, which means that you will not be able to create that connect with the audience, because audience also loves consistency. It is important for you to come in front of them very regularly. Because of this lack of discipline, my channel performance was very poor and I was also demotivated along the way. In short, having that discipline is important along with a content plan. The third broad mistake is from a technical perspective. Now, when I say the technical perspective, I mean the camera setup, the audio, the lighting, and the editing. Now, when I started my YouTube creation journey, I just assumed that setting up the camera, the lighting won't be a big deal. I did not have a mic for the audio and I assumed that it would just work out, which was a big blunder, because as per a study, when the audio in a video is poor, our brains have to work 35% harder to just process that audio. So because mainly my audio quality was very poor, a lot of videos were just skipping my videos at the very beginning. Now just think from a viewer's perspective. Now you find a video which has great visuals, but the audio is very poor. Will you watch that video? In most cases, you won't. Hi, this is a video with the mic on. I hope I sound well enough for you guys. This is a video without the mic. I am currently depending only on the mic which is there in the camera. I don't know how I sound. It took me a solid 6 months to realize the mistake, and then I decided to level up by investing in a good DSLR camera and a collar mic, which I'm using right now in this video as well. Now let's talk a little bit about lighting as well. Now when I started out, I did not have any idea about lighting up the room or setting up my room or lighting my face for the camera, and because of that, a lot of times the visuals were very poor and I had to do a lot of work while editing those videos, and the end result was also very poor. That's when my father gifted me a ring light, which I'm also using today for this video. So it would have made a lot of sense had I just learned the basics about these things before starting my video creation journey. So even if you are starting your creation journey right now, just learn the basics of these things. And finally, from a technical perspective, let's talk about editing, because editing is something that can make or break your video. Why is editing so important? It's important because it helps you craft your storyline. All the B-rolls, transitions, background music, captions you see in the videos is because of editing. When I started out, I made a lot of blunders while editing. I used background music with high volume, which kind of overshadowed my voice. I cut clips randomly and joined them, which seemed unnatural. I used B-rolls at the wrong places and even captions at the wrong places, and the overall edited video finally looked really bad. Now when I realized my blunders and limitations when it came to editing, I just decided to outsource all the editing to an expert, which even now saves me a lot of hours every week. So those were the 3 mistakes from a content, discipline, and technical perspective. There are many more which I wanted to talk about, but I'll cover those in the future videos, of course. On that note, I'll end the video. If you like the video, do share it with your friends and in your community as well. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I'll be coming out with some amazing content in the next videos. Until then, take care. This is your friend Divyansh, signing off.